The Premier League, the greatest league in the world, and what a 30 years it's been since it began. But what if we rewrote history? What if Henry never went to Arsenal? What if he went to Spurs? What if the class of 92 all dispersed and flitted themselves around the Premier League? What if Ryan Giggs never stayed at United? What if Zinedine Zidane came and graced the Premier League and didn't go and become a Galactico in Spain? Well, courtesy of the mad scientist, we have a retro database and we're going to simulate through 30 years and see how things have got on. If you've not seen this database, it's so much fun. If you grew up in the 90s like I did, I mean, this is 92, 93. I was a little bit young. I was only 3 years old. But a lot of these players I grew up with, they've included so many players like Henry, who actually at the start of the game were like 14. So players that came about late 90s, early 2000s, they're all in the game. And it's just amazing to see where players were and where they actually end up. So if you've not played this, I will link the database in the description down below. It's a lot of fun. But without further ado, let's get to it. I've already jumped forward 5 years because I want to see where a few players have gone. And instantly we see Dennis Bergkamp, formerly of Arsenal, interested in Man United, are interested in him. He's currently plying his trade at AC Milan. And that's not the only surprise. Alan Shearer, big Alan Shearer, has gone to Bayern Munich. He went to Bayern Munich for £34.5 million. Did Blackburn manage to win the Premier League before he left? Who knows? We will find out very shortly, but we'll quickly whip through some of these players. So Rivaldo's gone to Inter, Edgar Davids at Liverpool, Oliver Kahn at Juve, Lilian Thuram's gone to United, Batistuta still at Fiorentina. Interesting. No one's come in for big Gabriel Batistuta. Zinedine Zidane has graced the Premier League and he's come to Manchester United. He's literally, wow, he went to Barcelona for free and just last season came for £95 million. Man United with the big money signing for big Zinedine Zidane. Cafu has actually gone back to AC Milan. Because he starts out this save file at Sao Paulo. He very much does, because I bought him on my run through when I was playing with United. Roberto Carlos is at Arsenal. Steve McManaman didn't go to Real Madrid. He's actually gone to Barcelona. Very interesting. Andrei Shevchenko has gone to Manchester United as well. 20 years old, and what a player he looks like at 20. Well, he was in real life a great player. He's gone for £6 million a year ago. Diego Simeone at Leeds, that's probably arguably the most appropriate signing for a team I've ever seen in my life. Roy Keane has gone to Manchester United from Nottingham Forest. Ryan Giggs is still at Man United. Fabian Barthez at Liverpool, along with Luis Figo. Juan Sebastian Veron at Marseille. Javier Zanetti at Arsenal. Giovanni Elber has gone to Liverpool. Stefan Effenberg has gone to Arsenal. Henrik Larsson at Bayern Munich. I could continue. I'm going to. Raul. Real Madrid legend Raul has actually gone to Arsenal. Guys Comendieta is at Real Madrid. Fabio Cannavaro at Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went to Juventus. That's one thing with this retro database. It is really weird seeing like players like in suits and stuff being much older than they really are. Chris Sutton at Nottingham Forest. Dwight York's still at Aston Villa. Matt Letizier's still at Southampton. What's his stats saying? What a weird polygon. Clarence Seedorf's gone to Barcelona. Christian Vieri's at Man City. Didier Drogba at Lyon. Patrick Vieira at AC Milan. Andy Cole's down at Parma. Sol Campbell still at Tottenham. Rio Ferdinand still at West Ham. Frank Lampard has gone to Blackburn Rovers. He kicked on. He looks a decent player. Again, weird. Weird in a suit. Robbie Fowler still at Liverpool. David Beckham still at Man United. Brazilian Ronaldo, R9, hasn't really kicked on. Doesn't look very good at all. Trust me, he's got like potential of like 197. So hopefully it'll kick on. Alessandro Del Piero, famously of Juventus fame, is at Inter Milan. Paul Scholes is at Aston Villa. So the class of 92 has had its first casualty. Ruud van Nistelrooy has made his way to Liverpool. He's 21 years old. He looks half decent. He could be better. But he's gone to Liverpool, not Man United like in real life. Right, where's Thierry Henry? Thierry Henry is at AC Milan. Doesn't look that great. So what I'm going to do now is look through some competitions. The English Premier Division. And the past winners, well, it has been a pretty much a whitewash in the first 5 years for Manchester United. So 1, 2, 3, all 5 have been Manchester United, should I say. Arsenal in second or third, and Liverpool in second or third, with QPR, weirdly, finishing third one season. They've got 100 million in the bank. Kevin Keegan is the manager. I'd love it if he beat them. Hey, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. So we're going to quickly look through the Man United team just to see what they're dealing with. Absolutely no one. What's this? Ray Parlour. We've got no defence. Gary Neville is still there. Weird picture. Okay, so what we're going to do, jump through another 10 years now and see how everything's getting on. So in terms of transfer value, where you can see Raul is still up at Arsenal. He is an absolute world-class player, much like he was in real life. Andrei Shevchenko still at Man United. Again, very much a world-class player. He's taken on the number 7. And David Beckham, who has turned into every bit the player that he did for Man United, although he's a bit quicker than I would have expected, has gone to Arsenal. From Aston Villa. So, hang on. We were last here in 26-27. He must have gone to Aston Villa very shortly after for £31.5 million, who, incidentally, let's not forget, they also had Paul Scholes. Then Arsenal just bought him for £75 million. Fair play. Zinedine Zidane still at Man United. Just quickly whip through. As you can see, Alan Shearer still at Bayern Munich. Thierry Henry's moved across from AC Milan and moved to Inter. What? He's gone from AC Milan to Southampton for £27 million. For Southampton, he played 19 times and scored 3. And then the one game the next season, and Tottenham decided, you know what? We're having him. So Thierry Henry did make his way to Tottenham for 3 years for £34.5 million, and then he's gone to Inter for £54 million. This is the weirdest, because he also went to PSG, which we missed. This is the weirdest career I've ever seen. I couldn't have made this up if I'd have tried. Andrea Pirlo's at Roma. Yeah, he just went to Roma from Brescia. Juan Veron's now gone to Liverpool from Marseille. Was he at Marseille or was it Milan? I think he'd just gone to Marseille then from Milan for £47 million. Rivaldo has graced the Premier League and, oh God, he's good, isn't he? 35 years young and he's currently playing for Man United. Still got 13 pace. Fair play. Rio Ferdinand is at Juventus. Francesco Totti has not stayed a one-man club. He has left and joined Man United. £115 million from Roma. Woo! Gianluca Zambrotta at Tottenham. Denilson at Bayern Munich. Didier Drogba at Barcelona. Oliver Kahn stayed at Juve. Ian Hart's gone to Arsenal. Roberto Carlos. So Arsenal have got Ian Hart and Roberto Carlos at left back, although Ian Hart's quite versatile by the looks of it. Hernan Crespo at AC Milan. Sol Campbell's gone to Manchester United. Ryan Giggs has stayed at Man United. Leeds have got such a good team. Let's look at the English Premier Division. Well indeed. It's been absolute all the Reds. It's been red all the way, really. Man United, then interrupted briefly by Liverpool one season, and another 2 for United, and then Arsenal have won 6 of the last 7. So very much coming through. And Arsenal, let's have a look at your team. David Beckham, Fernando Morientes and Raul. So Real Madrid legends are now both at Arsenal. Very interesting. Ian Hart, Javier Zanetti, Roberto Carlos, Gennaro Gattuso has got absolutely the weirdest polygon I think I've ever seen in my life. I think most of these are probably going to be regens. Of course, the is 21. So some of the big money signings. Let's just see if we recognise any of these players. Michael Bridges went from Aston Villa to Juventus. Maybe not as injury prone as he was in real life and fulfilled his potential. Fair play. Kieran Dyer went from Tottenham to Juventus. Huge signing, huge fee. Very good player. Matt Holland went from Juventus to Man United. He's now at Roma. Gianluigi Buffon went from Luton to Manchester United for £46.5 million that season. Hang on, Luton paid £21 million. Are Luton good? Oh, they're in the Premier League. So they've come up from the first division at the start of the save game. They must have had a decent side. Bit of shrewd business there, really. So Atalanta took him from Parma for 16. Coventry then bought him for £29 million. He must have had a relegation release clause in his contract and they must have gone down. Because £21 million seems like a bargain, especially when he's just paid 29. And then Man United, bought him off him. So, interesting. Vladimir Smica from AC Milan to Tottenham. Like another year. David Beckham, there's your big transfer. Sammy Hippie went from Leeds to Juventus. Anyway, let's have a look at how teams are doing in the Champions League. So it's been Leeds have won 1, United have won 3 there. Since the start of the save game, the first 7 years was split between Juventus and United. Since then, United have won another one and Juve won another 2. So they've both had 5 each from the start of the save game. The other numbers being made up by Milan, Arsenal twice, and Leeds. Yes, absolutely. So Arsenal, United and Liverpool could all come runner-up as well. Sampdoria down here. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay, so looks like Arsenal have sort of taken over. If we... I'm just going to quickly go back and we are going to look through some of the stages. Have Arsenal managed to get an invincible season? Doesn't look like anyone has. Oh, but they nearly did here. They lost 3-2 to United. Ooh. You do have to take into consideration is there is 22 teams in the Premier League on this retro database. It's very different from what it was back in the day. We've even got classic Wimbledon. Wimbledon from back in the day. Landmark. £93 million. Everyone's rich. I wonder if it's because player wages were so small and they probably were scaled down, and because all the finances were still coming in, it's not changed. So they've just all got a lot more money to spend on people. Anyway, so that's about it really for the careers of certain players. Like Zidane's going to be in like his mid to late 30s now. So I'm going to sim through. I'm going to sim through to the end of the 30 years. When we look at any more players, we're going to look at the competitions, the English League, see what's happened, see who's come out on top overall, and have we rewritten Premier League history sufficiently? Will we have another Leicester City? Will we have another Blackburn Rovers? Oh, bloody hope so. And we have had a change of the guard, it seems, ladies and gentlemen. The Premier Division is now being dominated by Leeds and Aston Villa. And for the last... Well, Manchester United have fallen off the face of the earth. They've not won it since... They've not won it in 13 years. They've come second a few times and third a couple of times. But since... They've not even come in the top 3 those years. Crystal Palace have come runner-up and third. Everton are up there. But Leeds seem to be the team. They've got a lot of money. Big transfers. And Leeds have only gone and continued their success in the Champions League. They've won a couple of Champions Leagues. Aston Villa have won a couple of Champions Leagues as well. But let's just take a moment. Crystal Palace have won a couple of Champions Leagues. They've not managed to win the league. They've come run up in 2050 in the league, but they've won back-to-back Champions League titles. Have they had a tycoon? Yeah, Ahmed Al-Yahi takes over as a tycoon, and this is a consistent theme. Crystal Palace have had a tycoon takeover on my Sunderland Road to Glory save. Shameless plug for the channel. Check it out. They've also obviously if you've stumbled across this video, you're probably very much aware of parts of Premier Worth Space. He joined Crystal Palace after they'd had a tycoon takeover. So it seems like Crystal Palace are a tycoon magnet in this year's game. But anyway, back-to-back Champions Leagues without ever winning the Premier League. You don't see that every day, do you? You don't see that every day. And Cafu is the manager. Completely missed that. Let's go and have a look at some managers. Leeds United. Evan Poisson. Or Evan Fish, as he's known in the UK. I think Poisson is fish in French. If it's not, I just look like an absolute tit. I think that's about it. What I'm going to do is, of course, we're not going to leave you guys. We're not going to leave you without looking at the World Cup. Of course we're not going to. And England have won a World Cup in 2026 and 2038. Spain have won 3. Germany have snuck 1. And Italy have also won the World Cup. Finally, yeah, all the German players are in there. Of course. Or maybe because it's a retro database, it wasn't glitched out. They've worked out how to fix it, which I'd love to do. There is guides online, but I've never managed to do it. Anyway, that is beside the point. Thank you very much for watching, gang. If you've liked this video, please do give it a like. And if you've really liked it, subscribe to the channel. There's so many more experiments out there. Well, go and have a look. But there's also my playthrough with Sunderland on the Road to Glory. We're doing all right. So come on, check it out. Come and join the ride. Come and join the roller coaster of emotions that is Bottle Job FC, aka Sunderland. And I say Bottle Job FC because I am bottling everything with them at the moment. It is quite embarrassing, but as a viewer, probably quite fun and quite entertaining. Nevertheless, that is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching once again. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I will hopefully see you soon.